So there is going to be a lot of information in this video. And so I'm going to need you guys to pay very careful attention to the things that I'm about to say. Okay, because this is going to be a project that we do between Of Mice and Men and before we start reading The Crucible. And it's going to take you probably about 2 weeks to do this. And the directions are going to be a little bit different depending on whether or not you are virtual. But I'm going to try to include everything in this video. Okay, so the first thing is we're going to be researching colleges, universities, trade schools, any post-secondary after high school learning program that you might want to participate in. Okay. The reality is of our economy, the number of jobs that you can get that would provide you with what we traditionally would think of as a middle class living are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And the jobs that would provide you with that middle class living are requiring greater and greater levels of specialization and training. And so I know that lately it's been in vogue to talk about how college is no longer really useful. And to a certain degree, that's true. But it's true that it might not be as useful for everyone. But pretty much everybody who hopes to get a job making really good money is going to have to do some kind of training after school, whether it be a certification training or a trade school or to get a license to do something. And you guys are 11th graders, and so you need to start researching those programs and those options. And I'm hoping that this will help you to do that. So again, the focus of this project is going to be on colleges, okay? But if you're planning to go to a trade school or some certification program or the U.S. military or any of those other places that people traditionally go after high school, then you can pivot this research project to do those things too. Okay, so for my in-person kids, you will actually be standing up and giving a presentation. For my virtual students, you guys will be turning in your presentations, your PowerPoints, and then I'll be grading the information from those. The important distinction is that you need to make sure that all of that information that I am asking for is available in your presentation. So brick and mortar kids, you can speak some of that information out loud, and I'll give you the points for that. For you virtual guys, you're going to have to make sure that all that information is present on your presentation where I can read it. Okay. Another important difference is that for you in-person guys, everybody who's in person is going to have to choose a different school from all the other people in the class, because I don't want 15 presentations about WVU. But for the virtual kids, you won't be speaking your presentations, and so we don't have to worry about you all giving the same presentation as somebody else in the same class. So you guys can feel free to research whichever program you want, regardless of whether or not somebody else has chosen it. Okay, so the folder that you have in front of you will look something like this. So the first thing that you have is sample presentations. So you have two sample presentations here, and and they're in different formats. But this presentation was made by Bella Michael and Robert Rooney. They haven't been around for a couple of years, but some of you guys might still know them. So they did theirs on Blue Ridge, and they gave a presentation in person, but they still have lots of good information here on this slideshow, pretty much everything that I'm looking for. So this is a good example of what I would like for you guys to reproduce. And you're going to do this in Google Slides. They did their presentation in PowerPoint, but I don't want you guys to use PowerPoint. You can do all of these exact same things in PowerPoint. Okay, and notice I'm not expecting anything fancy. Here they just have a couple of pictures from their university, and then they've chosen a nice template for their background. So the basic outline is right here for you, and you guys feel free to just kind of borrow from what Bella and Robert did here, including the order and the layout of their slides if you get stuck and you don't have a unique idea for your own. Okay, a couple of things I want to draw attention to. Notice that they have a graphic on most slides. That's good. Also notice that they have a works cited page here. Now they have this works cited page done in MLA format, and that's something that a lot of you guys should be familiar with. And I would like for you to put those citations in MLA format if you feel like you have a good understanding of it. If you do not feel like you have a good understanding of it, then feel free just to give me these URLs with the understanding that if this were a normal year, I would expect, and most of your English teachers I'm sure would expect, your annotations to be in MLA format. Okay, but I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on that. So just feel free if you need to just post your URLs for the information that you got. So I'm not going to go over this too much. I'm going to trust that you guys are responsible young men and women, and you can look over this on your own and understand it. So we'll go back to the college research. So this is your direction sheet and outline, a place to begin researching, and student post-secondary research presentation assignment. So I don't want to make this video 30 minutes long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to attach videos to each of these things that explain what they are and how to use them and what they all mean. So check for those videos and watch them. And then if you have any questions, feel free to get in touch with me. Okay. All right, guys, good luck with this. And I'll be setting a due date here once we get the assignments out. So let me know if you have any questions.